All right, everybody, welcome back. Today, we will be recapping everything that has happened thus far in Naruto. Wait a minute, you're not the main character at the moment. You're frozen in Narnia or some shit. Boruto, True Blue Vortex, whatever. I don't know. The first chapter was pretty quick, showcasing of everything that the village has been going through since the events of chapter 80. The time skip takes place 3 years after the events after Boruto and Sasuke leave the village and Naruto being frozen in the Daikakuten dimension. Shikamaru is now the 8th Hokage, which is not shocking, but honestly kind of surprising. Like, obviously, he was working with Naruto, so it's not out of the realm possibility that if, for whatever reason, if someone else had to become the Hokage, that Shikamaru would not be a candidate. But given the fact that both the 5th and the 6th Hokage are still around, and given Shikamaru's nature of never really wanting to take on more responsibility than necessary, it was honestly surprising that Kakashi or Tsunade didn't take over for the village in this emergency crazy situation. Regardless, the scene is set and starts with Sarada telling the Hokage that Boruto is not guilty of the crimes of 3 years ago. Regardless, we learned that because of the duration of omnipotence, everyone who was affected by the jutsu does not even question the reality that this world was different from how it always has been, at least in from their perspectives. Leaving Sumire and Sarada as one of the few people who remember the original setting of how things were before the jutsu. This chapter also showcases the newest designings of many of the other Boruto characters, and also shows Himawari being further trained as a shinobi. Seemingly, everything going on at the village seems to be centered around the situation that occurred 3 years ago, which is kind of strange given how much time has passed from then. People behave as if it just happened a few days ago. Regardless, new events occur as Ko chooses to go at the village during this time, and this time just so happens to occur at the same time Boruto chooses to return to the village. The chapter concludes shortly after. Honestly, this was a good reintroduction to everything, bringing back the characters, and there seems to be a much more serious vibe to the chapter and overall manga, which is appreciated. One of the issues of Boruto previously was just how relaxed and unserious it happened to be for much of the series. It seems like this will be the theme moving forward. It would have been more realistic if we got to see more about what was going on in the village during the entire 3 year time skip, as opposed to just focusing on the events that happened 3 years ago, despite the fact that years have passed, yet the characters are all behaving as if things just happened briefly. So anyway, chapter 2 starts with essentially a battle between Code and Boruto. Boruto seems completely different from his former self. No more is the plucky, inexperienced kid that complained about many different issues, but now Boruto seems a lot more like, well, Sasuke in a sense. Yeah, he seems a lot more like Sasuke, but in a good way. It seems as if the issues that Boruto experienced all those years ago, as well as whatever journeys he's been through, have not only matured him, but shown him the harsh realities of the ninja world. The rest of the chapter really does not show too much outside of the battles going on in the village of the young shinobi versus the ten-tail clone creatures. It's kind of weird how none of the previous shinobi from the past generations are here and present during this issue, but whatever, even though they are supposedly still around, it's just a reminder of how it's about the next generation. Anyways, there's two things of note that occur in this chapter, one of which will certainly be getting its own video regarding the details. The first thing of note is the behavior of the ten-tail clone creatures that happen to mistakenly go at anyone who gets in their way and turn themselves into divine trees, or at least try to. They can't do that if the person is not an Otsutsuki, but for some reason they behave in that way regardless. It's unclear if they're defective or are just unable to detect Otsutsuki, but more information about these weird creatures is required in order to give more of an accurate assessment. But the main thing from this chapter is the jutsu itself, or rather the new jutsu that is introduced. The Rasengan has always been this powerful jutsu that can be set as a base to create new jutsu from it. Well, Boruto seems to have done this again. The first time was when he combined the Rasengan with lightning chakra to make the vanishing Rasengan, but the next time we see it is now. Boruto uses a new jutsu called Rasengan Uzuhiko. I'll say that again, Rasengan Uzuhiko. There will be another video breaking down everything about this new jutsu, so be on the lookout for that. But to briefly talk about it, it seems to be a jutsu that focuses its power on the rotation aspect of the earth, and applies that to anyone who is affected by it, causing them to completely lose any essence of balance to remain standing. Any further details will be discussed at a later time. Chapter 3 focuses on the details of this jutsu, as well as the finale of Code and Boruto going at it. Okay, Boruto consistently tells Code to let him know about the whereabouts of the Ten Tails, but Code stays stubborn as ever, refusing to say anything of the sort. Boruto stops the fight as the rest of the Konoha Rugrats jump to the scene. With the commotion of everyone talking with Boruto and still seeing him as public enemy number one, Code quickly disappears during this, using one of his claw, I don't know if those like claw marks he leaves. I think maybe it's just called claw marks. I forgot what it's actually called. I don't know if the claw grimes are the actual like clone creature things, or the claw grimes are like those marking things that he uses to like kind of teleport from place to place. Regardless, whatever. Anyways, but fortunately, Boruto has been working with the Toad Frogs at Mount Miyaboku to find out the location of where Code has the Ten Tails, and one of the frogs was able to disappear with Code, unbeknownst to Code. The chapter then stops shortly after seeing the Ten Tails. Overall, the direction of Two Blue Vortex is great, to be honest. The seriousness of these chapters is reminiscent of OG Naruto and chooses a different route that Shippuden did. While Shippuden chose to take a more reminiscent route of reminding us about all the characters from Naruto and the life of the village before the time skip, Boruto chooses to get right back to the main storyline and seriousness of where we left off from. Maybe because of the difference in like how much time has passed between each time skip, there was much more time in between Naruto to Naruto Shippuden as opposed to Boruto and Two Blue Vortex. So maybe that's, kind of the reasoning as to why things are a little bit different. Regardless, it is impressive just how much better the Boruto manga has gotten. And it's great to see that the new manga just continues this trend and makes it even better. Chapter 4 releases in a few weeks, and we will be discussing things when the time is best, and hopefully we get to learn even more about what has happened during all this time. How have the other villages responded to Naruto, quote unquote, dying, right? Naruto dying. Especially Gaara, being one of Naruto's best friends, would have responded very negatively towards this. Or maybe Gaara is one of the other people who have not been affected by omnipotence. Who knows if anyone else is immune to it? We still don't know why Sarada and Sumire are not affected by omnipotence, but I don't know. Hopefully that is revealed in due time. I do have my own theories, but the theories don't quite align with both characters, so I'm going to hold off on speaking about those theories for at this current moment in time. Let me see. And lastly, we should be seeing Sasuke show up and maybe see more of Boruto's training over all this time, as well as anything they have discovered regarding how to reverse omnipotence, as well as any information regarding Chibai Otsutsuki, as well as whatever happened to Amado after all this time as well. Anyways, everyone, I appreciate you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and check out all the other content that I got. Anyways, see you guys next time.